Hello guys. Welcome to Wofoy TV live stream. My name is Ikuya. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're somebody who's been following me for a while, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Please make sure you share the live video. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It doesn't take a whole lot to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just make sure you're signed into the YouTube channel, and then you just click on the subscribe over there on YouTube. Please make sure you do that. All right. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about surviving. Like, will your marriage survive winning the DV lottery? Okay, this is something that I haven't seen anybody talk about like in a video, but I think that it is something that a lot of people deal with, but they keep quiet about it. All right. So I wanted to talk to you guys about, the DV lottery process, how it can be very stressful for a married couple. If you don't take care, your marriage will not survive. And it's not even just the DV lottery. Any type of U.S. immigration, because the U.S. immigration, it is not as fast as many of us think. Some of us think that, oh, you just file for me and then I'm out. You win the lottery and you're out. No. So sometimes that process, that long process that you're going through, if you're a married couple, if you don't take care, your marriage will not survive. Okay, so I am here to talk to you about some of the realities that, married couples face in immigration process, but we are going to specifically talk about DV lottery. Okay, and if you're somebody who may not even be part of the DV lottery, but your wife is in America, they have filed for you, your husband is in America, they have filed for you, your fiance has filed for you, this video might, you might find this very helpful. All right. And if you're somebody who has already won the DV lottery, I'm talking about those who won the DV lottery this year in May, and you're a married couple and you're going through this, I hope that you find this video helpful. And those of you who just took part in the registration next year, so that this video, when you get to that time, when you win the DV lottery as a couple, you will remember some of the things that I'm going to share over here. Guys, when you win the DV lottery, it is good news. It is good news for a lot of people. It is going to change your life. It is going to change your family life. But this can be something that can change the dynamics of your marriage, of your relationship. All right. Few days ago, I was making posts about stories that people have shared with me. They don't want to come forward and say it for obvious reasons. So I was like, let me share some of these small stories that people have shared with me without disclosing who they are. And then somebody made a post, a comment about his interview with his wife. They didn't include their child, and they were refused their visa, and then later the wife has left him. So I copied his comment and made it into a post. Those of you who have not seen it, after this live video, check on my page, you will see that post. Somebody made that comment under one of my posts, and then I copied that comment. I didn't change anything, and then I posted it for you guys to see. Okay. So as a married couple, when you win the DV lottery, one thing that you need to understand is that you are on the same team. You are on the same team. Whether it's the wife who won the lotto or the husband who won the lotto, you two are on the same team. The most important thing is that you both get to America. Whether it is through your wife that you came, whether it is through your husband, it doesn't matter. Visa is visa. Okay? So you have to recognize that both of you are on the same team. And when you're on the same team, you don't score and they say own goal, right? When you are playing football, soccer on the same team, you will not play the ball, you will not kick it to your own goal, right? You play it to the opposing side. So when you're a married couple, understand that we are in this together. We are both trying to achieve the same thing. Visa for both of us. So you have to accept that somebody must take the lead. We cannot have two captains in the same ship. Okay? There's going to be a lot of conflict. So you need to decide who is going to take the more active role as a couple. You have to decide who is going to take the more active role. If your wife is the person who is very good at organization, there's a woman, they'll write everything, right? They'll gather everything and do this. Then let your wife take that role. If you're a woman and your husband is the person who is good at doing those things, putting things together, pulling information, getting things right, having a checklist, and making sure that things are get done like a project manager, right? Then let your husband take the leading role. Sometimes it is difficult for some men to allow their wife to take the lead role because you are used to being the man. But remember the first point that I made. You are in this together. You are on the same team. If your wife, through her talent, her organization skills, if that can help you guys get your visa, put your ego to the side and let her take the lead. You too, madam. If your husband is the one who can take the leading role, even though you are the one who won the lotto, allow him to take the leading role because you are on the same team. At the end of the day, when he's able to process the whole thing and you get your visa, it doesn't matter whether the man took the lead or the wife took the lead. You are on the same team. So let the person whose skills can help you get through this process, let that person take the leading role. But when one person takes the leading role, it doesn't mean that you two should sit back and relax. My people, that's why I said leading role. So after leading role, there's somebody who takes the supporting role. So whether it is the woman who is taking the leading role, the man must take the supporting role. If your wife is the one who is doing the organization, okay, baby, I have the checklist. We need to get the birth certificate of our children. We need to get this. We need to get this. You, the husband who is in the supporting role, what you should do is that, okay, baby, so you said the birth certificate, we need to redo the birth certificate of our son. Okay, I will get on it, right? So you will get on it and get that thing done for your wife. Put your ego to the side. There's no ego in this matter. In the same way, if the man is taking the leading role in processing your case, you, the wife, take the supporting role. Hey, honey, you said that we need the birth certificate of the boys, right? Our children. Okay, I will go to the birth registry office and go and do that tomorrow. I will go there and do that. Don't say that because your husband is taking the lead, you will not do anything. You are just sitting there and let your husband do everything. No. Remember, you are on the same team. If you allow just your husband to go through the whole process on his own, my sister, your marriage might not survive. If you let your husband to go through the whole thing on himself, your marriage might not survive. My brother, if you let your wife to be the only person do the whole thing, if you don't take care, your marriage might not survive. Why am I saying your marriage might not survive? It can breed resentment. If me, your wife, I do the whole thing and you don't contribute in ideas, you don't say anything, you are just there and I'm the one doing it, at some point I will feel like, why is this man behaving like he cannot even bring some smart ideas? Right? Nobody wants to be useless. So make sure that you make yourself useful. Right? When your wife is leading, be in the supporting role. You too, you can do things to help. Hey, I bought a folder when I went to the town. I got a folder so that we can put the immigration stuff inside. You are also helping. So the fact that your husband is leading doesn't mean that you, the wife, you shouldn't talk about it. You shouldn't ask. You shouldn't contribute any ideas. My sister, remember, if your husband succeed in this process, you too, you are getting a visa. My brother, if your wife succeeds, guess what? You too, you are getting a visa just because you are the husband, just because you are the wife. You did not do anything other than just follow along, right? So that is why when somebody, whether the wife or the husband, is taking the leading role, you, the other spouse, Be in the supporting role. Support the process. Add some value to it. If they need birth certificate, police certificate, you might have some classmates who may be working at the police headquarters. You might be able to make some phone calls and ask, hey, please, we are trying to get a police certificate. What do we need? How much will it cost, right? So even though your wife is leading, even though your husband is leading, you too, you can help so that in the end, it will be a team effort. All right? The next point is that, my people, know that this DV lottery process, sometimes you don't know the best decision. Okay? Sometimes the decision that you're making right now, it may appear to be a really good decision, but it may end up to be your worst decision. Sometimes you're like, let me take my case to another country. For example, there were some people who took their cases to Nigeria. I remember one guy, his case number was because Nigeria had interviewed people in the previous year. So we thought that Nigeria was going to do some interview again. Nigeria did not even conduct one DV lottery interview. So these people who took their cases there, it was a decision that did not help them, right? So when you decide that your husband is going to lead, when you decide that your wife is going to lead, you have to trust the person that whatever decision that they are making, it is for the interest of you all. I hope you understand. When you decide that your husband is going to lead the process, whatever decision he makes, he should discuss it with you, but when you both discuss that decision, you have to support that decision, whether it gives a good outcome or a bad outcome. Let's say your husband has decided, you know what, baby, let's transfer our case to Sierra Leone. Maybe we'll get an interview. And then he talks to you about it. And then you're like, okay, I think, since you said it, let's go ahead and do it. And then, God forbid, you don't get an interview. Don't change your attitude right now and say, hey, it was you who took it to the Sierra Leone. If you are staying in Ghana, no, my sister, you have to support him in that decision because you didn't have any better option, right? So when you decide somebody is going to lead, all that I'm saying is that you have to trust the person's decision. And you also, who is leading, whether the wife or the husband, who is leading the immigration process, when you're making the decision, because it is going to affect your wife, because the decision that you are making will affect your husband, it is wise to have a discussion with that person. Although you are the one who won the lotto, although maybe you are not the one who won the lotto, but remember that when you get the visa, your wife will get the visa. When you get the visa, your husband will get the visa. So, whatever decision you make, whether the decision costs you not to get the visa, whether the decision you make is able to make you guys get your visa, your decision is going to have an impact. It's going to affect your wife, whether positively or negatively. Positively, if you make the right decision and your case is successful, your wife will reap the positive effect of your decision. If the decision you made, if it goes the negative way, if you don't get your visa because of that, if you don't get your interview because of that, it is also going to affect your wife or your husband. So that is why when you are chosen as the leader, the person to lead in the DV lottery process for your family, you need to be a wise and a smart leader. Whatever decision, big decisions that you make, have the discussion with the person that it will affect also. If you are a single person and you are making your decision, you do it one man panel. I make my own decision because my decision will not affect anybody but me. But if you are married, it will affect your spouse. So whatever decision you will make in your DV lottery journey, discuss that with your spouse, because it is going to affect them too. Next thing that I will say is that, guys, when it comes to preparing for your interview, you have to do it together. Not that the husband is doing his own thing, wife is doing her own thing, and then you go to the interview and then they ask you, both of you, they ask you a question and then you don't know what to do. I had an interview with a couple from Uganda. It's on my YouTube channel. Those of you who have not seen it, go to my YouTube channel. You will see that. They said when they went for the interview, they asked them a lot of questions. What is the furniture in your living room? The furniture in your living room. They're making sure that these people are a couple. So you, the husband, you have done your own interview rehearsals. Your wife has done her own. And then you go for the interview. Your answers may not align because you people who are doing your own thing. Maybe your husband was practicing, what is your name? What job do you do? Are you married? What children? And your wife was also practicing other things, right? So if you are a couple, it makes sense that you two need to practice together. Practice your interview together. If you are practicing and your wife makes a mistake, your husband makes a mistake, maybe he didn't answer the question the way you were expecting them to answer them. She didn't answer the question the way you were expecting her to answer them. Please be patient. Remember, you are on the same team now. You are on the same team. So this is not the place to be fighting with your wife because she didn't answer it correctly. At least you guys are not answering the questions wrong way at the interview. I hope you understand. At least she's making the mistakes in your house. At least your husband is making those mistakes in your home, not at the interview. So you can at least thank God for that. I thank God that this question, when did we get married? And then your husband was like, we got married in July. And you're like, July? It was June. What? See, it is good that you are recognizing, you are seeing these things now before you go for an interview. So when your partner makes a mistake, don't make a big deal. Sometimes laugh about it. Correct each other. Because remember, at the end of the day, you guys are on the same team. Keep reminding yourself, those of you who are married, when you are going through any US visa process together as a couple, whether it's DV lottery, whether it is a fiancé visa, whether it is a marriage visa, remember, you two are on the same team. No need for you to fight each other as if you guys are rivals. You are on the same team. So it is in your interest for the other person to do well. In America, basketball, I remember they were talking about this basketball player. This guy, every time he goes to the game, he's really good. But he wants to keep the ball all the time. Some of you, those of you who are familiar with basketball, you might be getting ideas about who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention the name. This guy can score so many points in the game. He will pick the ball every time. He will, throw the ball and he will score. He will not give it to other people. But at the end of the game, they will lose. His team will lose. But he was the one who scored the most points. So he is playing on a team with another team, right? When he gets the ball, even if he's far away, instead of giving it to somebody else to go and score, he wants to be the person who is shooting the shots all the time. So at the end of the game, he may have scored maybe 20 points. But guess what? The other team scored 40 points. He was the one who scored the most points, but his team lost because he wanted to be the person who was shining. My people, remember this story that I'm telling you. You are on the same team. it is best that you win together as a team than winning as an individual when you are on a team. It is best to win as a team when you are on a team. When you are working with somebody, even if it's 2 people, 3 people, you are on a team. It is best that the team wins than you alone win and your team loses. So those of you who are married, when you win the DV lottery, and then you, the woman, you are the one leading the process, and you want to prove to your husband that you are more intelligent than him. You want to prove to your wife that you are more intelligent than her. And then if you go for an interview and you fail, you have won. You have proven to your wife that I am intelligent. But see, you lost. You didn't get the visa. So remember, it is best that you guys win together as a couple. So if you're a married couple, remember all the time, we are on the same team. We are on the same team. We are on the same team. The moment you lose sight that you and your husband are on the same team, you are in deep trouble. Okay? Now, I mentioned that sometimes you don't know what is the right decision or the wrong decision. Sometimes you may think that this thing that I'm doing will help us, and then it might turn around not help you. Sometimes you may make a decision and it will help you guys. Sometimes you never know. You don't know whether this decision that I'm making is it going to be helpful. This decision, I am deciding to sell the family car so that we can process this DV lottery. Sometimes you may sell your car and then you might not get the visa. Sometimes you might sell your car and you might get the visa. It's like you never know. God did not give us that seeing through the future. Sometimes, some people may have that, they say God revealed something to me. But for the most part, God doesn't tell us about tomorrow. So we don't know. So sometimes you don't know what decision is best and what decision might not work. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you might do your very best, but the decision that you took, that good decision, the decision that you think was very good, it might not work out for you. When somebody is taking the leading role in your DV lottery process as a couple, whether it's the husband or whether it's the wife, trust the person. Sometimes they don't know which decision is the best. Even me sitting here, who have looked at some of the data for a long time, even some of the DV lottery supposed experts, even some of the lawyers who have gone through some of this process, they don't even know the right decision. They don't know that you doing this will give you this outcome. That is why in US immigration, they tell you that visa is never guaranteed. So me or any lawyer or any DV lottery guru, nobody can guarantee that you will get your visa. That if you climb this mountain and descend on the right side, you will get your visa. Or if you jump on this bridge and then you go this way, you will get your visa. Nobody can tell you. So when your husband is leading, when your wife is leading, please, if you're going to be in the supporting role, support whatever decision that they make. Like I said, they should discuss it with you. But at the end of the day, support the person. Remember, they are doing it for the benefit of the both of you. They will not intentionally do the wrong thing for you to suffer. Because at the end of the day, if they get the visa, you get the visa. So, trust the person. You are on the same team. Win or lose, you are on the same team. Okay? The other thing that I want to talk to you about is that sometimes you go for the interview and you get your visa. Sometimes you don't get your visa. When you get your visa, most of the time, I haven't seen a couple divorce because they got their visa. I have never seen that. I haven't seen a couple quarrel because they got their visa. Oftentimes, when you don't get your visa, that part can be very stressful on even single people. So how much more a married couple? When me, a single person, go through the DV lottery process and I don't get my visa, I can blame myself. I should have followed these people. I should have taken my case back to this place. I should have done this. I'm blaming myself. But when you are two people, aside you, the person who led the process, you blaming yourself, your wife is also looking at you. I told you now. Right? Aside you blaming yourself, your husband is also looking at you. Madam, know it all. I told you that, I wasn't in agreement with this, and you decided to take it here. The other person is going to blame you also. If you don't take care, you people will not recover. Your marriage will not recover. All right? Remember I said sometimes you don't know what the best decision is. So if it doesn't go well, this is not the time to blame anybody. Your wife wanted you guys to get your visa. Your husband wanted you guys to get your visa. So if it didn't go well, what makes you think that she intentionally did that? What makes you think that your husband intentionally did that so that you don't get your visa? So that is not the place to blame anybody. If you don't take care, you lost the visa and you lose your marriage on top of that. You have to overcome. There are a lot of people, when they go for an interview and they don't get their visa, they stay away from social media for like months. Because, my people, it can be heartbreaking. Imagine you've won the lotto. You've already told your friends, hey, this year Christmas I will not be in Uganda. Hey, by the grace of God, this year Easter I will not be. Next year Easter I will not be here. Like, even when your family people are having some discussion that, next year we will go for like Easter convention. In your head, okay, yeah, because in your mind you are like, I will not be here, so I'm not going to talk plenty, right? So when you go for an interview and it doesn't work out, let me tell you, it can be heartbreaking, especially when you have told people that you were going to America and now you are still here. So it can be very, very, very hard on people. There are some people, they are like, I will never apply for American visa again. My people. So when you are a married couple and you're going through that, don't lose your marriage because of a visa refuser. Don't lose your marriage because of a visa refuser, because you have already lost one thing. You're going to add your marriage on top. Remember, it is not easy on single people, though. When you get refused a visa, it is not easy on a single person. So it's not also going to be easy on a married couple. So if you decide to break up your marriage because you were refused visa, my brother, my sister, it is not going to be easy on you because now you are single man. I hope you understand. It is not going to be easy on you because now you are a single woman. Some of the people who are single, it can be very tough on them. So don't think that you're breaking your marriage so that you can go through this easy. It's not. It is not going to be easy. It is not easy on single people. It's not easy on married people. So why would you break your marriage so that you make it easy on yourself? So don't blame each other. Remember, after you've gone for interview and if it doesn't go well, don't blame each other, because you guys are on the same team. Your husband wanted the visa as much as you. Your wife wanted the visa as bad as you wanted it. So don't blame her if things did not work out. Don't blame him if things did not work out. Okay? You guys can pick up. And guess what? You guys may have the opportunity again. And this time you have learned some lessons and then you can do it right. Okay? Guys, thank you so much for your patience. I love you. I'll be sharing more content. Like I said this few days ago, I'll be sharing some of these stories, that people have shared with me about this process, so that you can get a little bit of insight of some of the story, because these people don't want to come out and have an interview, right? So sometimes they share like small bit stories about their lives and all that. So I'll be sharing them on this page. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I beg now, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I need that subscription. I love you guys. God be with you. Bye-bye.